All right, welcome back to another Premodern video. We are playing some more Replenish. We're going to play Replenish, 4 copies of Impulse, 3 copies of Mana Leak. I'm super excited to play Impulse over poopy Attunement. Attunement is one of the cards that I will say that I zag when other people zig. People love Attunement. They are cast Attunement, activate it, discard all your lands. You just discard 4 lands. It's crazy. And you cast it again, rinse and repeat. I'm like, okay, well, I have a few questions. First question, what if you need your lands? Second question, what if you're not flooded out and you don't have Replenish, or you're playing a grindy matchup where Replenish is under threat of counterspells, or your opponent has, it's post-board matchup, your opponent has access to Tormod's Crypt, or, your grinding matchup, you're just losing cards every turn. It's like, well, it's good for the grinding matchups because you're still going to be casting cards every turn. It's like, okay, well, Attunement costs 3 mana. So you're telling me that you have 7 mana to cast 3 mana Attunement and then 4 mana in Replenish? So just Replenish. So you're still going to pass the turn. It's like we're a tap out deck. Like we need to cast something every turn. Every turn you cast Attunement, you're taking the turn off from casting something else, unless you have a lot of lands, which you won't have because you've been looting all your lands away with Attunement. Doesn't add up. Yes, Attunement's a 3/3 with an Opalescence play. Don't mind that. Don't think 7 mana to produce a 3/3 that you can pick up is that exciting. Yes, Attunement comes back when you cast Replenish with Attunement in the mix. You just bring back an Attunement and whatever nonsense, but you don't have the full combo, so then you can start spinning your Attunement to get closer to the full combo. I like that. Don't get me wrong. I like that. But what if you just looked at the top 4 cards of your library and you pick the one that will cause you to win the game? What if you played a card which has been in every blue-based combo deck in Premodern? It's been in Dreadnought. It's been in Devour combo. I don't know. I would play it in Fluctuator. Probably not. It's in Stasis. It's in control decks. Impulse rules. Impulse is amazing. Impulse gives you something to do when you're holding up blue mana on your opponent's turn. They try to play something. You don't need a mana like that. Impulse instead. Impulse helps you hit land drops. I used to run 26 lands in this deck. Now I run 25 because we're missing on land drops. Sometimes Impulse is going to find you the land. We're trying to put together combinations of cards. If you watched my last Replenish videos, the awkwardness from this deck comes if you just have a hand and it's just 2 Parallax Waves and a Parallax Tide. And you're like, nice, I have 2/3 of the combo. But what's the problem with 2/3 of the combo? This doesn't do anything. The creatures come back, the lands come back. It's like, okay, well, fine. Then we're going to splash in Seal of Cleansing. But then, I don't know, what if your opponent doesn't get Tide comboed with her playing Grotog or Dreadnought? We're just like, oh, you Tide combo them, they gush. And then, you don't really make that much progress. You've expended all of this resources. They're pretty much, they're just kind of whatever. What if, you have Opalescence and Tide, you got this 4/4 getting attack for a while, but you don't want to take away their lands. So you want your 4/4s hanging around. It's like you need to have consistency by running a lot of copies of your stuff, allowing you to jam and rejam, allowing you to see them more often. You're allowing you to do A+B more often, but you also need a little bit of selection. You need the ability to select. And so, selecting is something that Attunement allows you to do, is something that Frantic Search allows you to do, but at a cost. But what if you could select at no cost? Enter Impulse. Impulse is huge. I think I've got a good feeling about Impulse in this deck. I'm going to start with 4, maybe you should run 3, maybe you should run 2. We'll start with 4. Sideboard's the same sideboard nonsense. Powder Keg to deal with Meddling Mage. Deep Analysis to be part of our huge grindy plan. Exalted Angel to pivot on our opponents. Sphere of Law is my new anti-red technology. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it kind of gives you this, I don't know, we're playing Impulse, so I have dreams of turn 2 Impulse, turn 3 Sphere of Law, and then it just drastically reduces the amount of time that red takes to kill you. And it is a card that can tag both Goblins and Burn, just like blue and just like Blue Blasts. And against Burn, they're going to have a hard time removing this. And one of the interesting things is that there aren't a lot of cards that are good against both the creatures in the Burn deck and the Burn spells in the Burn deck. So Circle Protection Red is not really good against Burn creatures. You don't want to live in a world where you're just tax 1 mana every single turn for every single time a Jackal Pup wants to hit you, which is going to be every turn. Same thing with Mogfang X, same thing with Grim Lavamancer. It's good against Ball Lightning. But your opponent pays 0 mana for those creatures to attack. You're paying 1 mana to stop them. So Sphere of Law, you spend 0 mana to stop them. And that's pretty good. I like Abeyance over Worm's Chant. Like, Abeyance is just awesome. Maybe I should make another video on Replenish technology. I can't really get to it here. But yeah, overall, you are looking at Replenish. This is a superb pick for LobsterCon, and the only better pick for LobsterCon is Red-Green Oath. Ponza Oath. Ponza Oath is sick. Probably beats this deck because I don't have any Salvo's Web. But this deck rules. Mengu plays this deck. Paulmaster, Pablo Marcos plays this deck. Lanny plays this deck sometimes. I used to be a big Replenish influencer before I started making YouTube videos. In fact, one of my earlier YouTube videos was going to be Replenish. I just never published it, so I might get around to publishing it. I used to play Mox Diamond in this deck. There's lots of cool stuff. This deck is spread a little thin. Like, look at how spread out my sideboard is. I don't really love that. I don't love not being able to bring in a lot of sideboard cards in a lot of situations. Like, some decks get really wrecked by Tide combo, but some decks don't care about Tide combo. Boom, polarized. Some decks get wrecked by Opal Wave, but some decks don't really care about Opal Wave. Very polarized. Replenish, really great if your opponent has counter spells or they play a lot of Tormod's Crypt. Then Replenish becomes a horrible card to draw. It's like polarized. Frantic Search, Attunement, those cards are also super polarized. So it's like you really, really want to be a strong, consistent game 1 deck, and then try to be stronger, even more consistent in game 2. But you want it's like you're just a polarized strategy. You're doing a lot of different things. So on one hand, people would be like, oh, Replenish is really robust. You don't die to Swords of Plowshares, you don't die to Disenchants, you don't die to Tormod's Crypt. You always have a plan against those kinds of interaction. However, your plan to just put Opalescence, Parallax Wave might just be something your opponent doesn't care about. If your opponent just has Rave Revelation, then you'll just be like, okay, I put Opalescence Wave in play. You're like, okay, I have Rave Revelation target Opalescence. So it's one of those things where you know, it's not so simple. Like, Replenish is a great deck. It's a strong deck. Don't get me wrong. But it's also a weird deck. It's weird in how different kinds of decks interact with it. You know, bottom line also is just like, look at all these 4-drops. These cards cost so much mana. It's like you have to play a lot of mana to cast these cards. And one of the biggest decks in the format is destroying your lands all the goddamn time. So, great deck. Excited to play it. On my shortlist for LobsterCon. You know, funny thing, I want to fool people at LobsterCon. I'm going to be like open on Flooded Strand, but it's like so many opening hands. You're like, oh, I really have to lean on the Skycloud Expanse, because you want dual land, soul land in order to cast all your stuff. So if you have like a hand that's like Plains Adarkar Wastes or Plains Skycloud Expanse, and you don't have Swords Plowshares in your hand, you don't want to rep Swords Plowshares, and you don't want to rep that you're being another deck, the best play is to play Skycloud Expanse. In fact, most of the time, you just play Skycloud Expanse, because next turn, you might draw an Ancient Tomb, so you can cast your Intuition. Maybe next turn you don't draw an Ancient Tomb, but next turn, you play your second Skycloud Expanse, then you play City of Traitors, and then City of Traitors and 2 Skycloud Expanse, you can start casting your waves and Opalescence, all that nonsense. So, love this deck. We're going to jump in some games. Thanks for watching. And check out the links in the description. I have a tier list. We just did a Spy Colony podcast that showed off. I literally went down every single deck in the metagame. And it's just like, this is how good or bad this deck is into the rest of the metagame. So check that out. That's one of the best best podcast episodes we've made in Spy Colony, if not the best, on a utility standpoint. Yeah, and if you love this content, please check out our coffee page. I'm currently unemployed, and you know, I'm not trying to guilt trip you, you know, just spend your money on buy Magic cards or whatever. But if you donate on coffee, that's very appreciated. But if you just like enjoy the videos and you just want to drop into the Facebook page, you drop in whatever, shout out, say hello, ask me to check out a list. I'm super down for that. I love Premodern, so I don't really care if you pay me or not. Just, you know, keep playing Premodern and keep engaging with the videos, and you're the best. And let's jump into some games. All right. Battling So Angry. Love this mana leak. Love this hand. This hand gets to combo on turn 4. Turn 3, obviously, if I find Replenish. I mean, I guess it doesn't exactly combo turn 4. I need to find a dual land. Mountain. Furnace. Don't like this Furnace. Means I am going to have to do this the hard way by not ever casting Frantic Search, which is okay with me. Wonder if this is big red. Do not know the size of this red. Hoping this hand can't really beat a Ponza hand, so hoping it's not Ponza. I mean, this can't beat a Ponza hand, right? Because this is a lock against red, so can keep this Furnace from ever drawing a card. I could play the Cephalid to not let on that I'm playing Replenish, but looks like it's burn. Didn't leak because the Ball Lightning Sulfuric Vortex is much more important. So definitely want to leak those targets, and definitely obviously wish we were on the play. But we're going to be pretty insulated unless our hand is like Bolt, Bolt, Bolt. Then we're going to get them. Well, we're not going to get them, but we're going to at least have our stuff together in time. If we draw a City of Traitors, we can obviously go crazy. Not too excited to just Frantic Search looking for interaction on my turn. There's not a lot of sorcery speed cards I can play, so I think it's fine for me to hold the Frantic Search for a turn here. And if they send a Ball Lightning or better at me, then what's nice is that I could set up to Replenish if they tap out this turn. Yeah, this is a Ball Lightning, so we are going to be priced into frantic searching because we want to answer this. Okay. Going to discard this. It's really, there honestly is a world in which I activate this Cephalid Coliseum, but we're going to Impulse. Plowshares, one time. All right, honestly, a City of Traitors is totally fine. It was kind of what we asked for. Taking 6 is going to be bad, but they have 2 cards in hand, so hopefully we will find our way through. I mean, at least I got rid of those lands. Yeah, this is pretty shaky. On average, they're going to draw enough burn to kill me, so I really need to hope that they have creatures. The Seal Cleansing actually means that I want to crack this Flooded Strand. I really don't want to take 1 damage, though, so interesting. I think we'll just be chill. Basically, if I take 1 damage, I can put 2 extra power on the board next turn, which could end up making a difference. But I think I get in for 4 and then get in for 8. Not a beautiful spot. Not my favorite spot. Okay, opponent is all burn. So Fire Blast. Bolt is short, but okay, it's fine. I can still actually run this sequence and still have all the mana that I need. I actually just really want to draw Opalescence next. So the real question is if I want to not play a land in case... So attack for 4, attack for 6 is 10. Then attack for 10. Okay, so this is a square amount of damage. It's exactly 20 damage. Guess main deck Price of Progress could get me pretty hard here, but if it happens, it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. Round 8, being on the draw here obviously was not a great time. Yeah, I mean, if I sequenced my lands differently, then I could have hit Intuition, which would have made a difference. But let's see if my opponent has 8 damage and 3 cards. Mana Leak would be great. Impulse. Oh man. It's actually one of those cards that makes a difference, but I think we are going to want to Impulse. There's a lot of good cards we can Impulse into. A lot of good cards. Plowshares is one of them. Plowshares, my own P-Wave is pretty bad though. Additional Opalescence. Mana Leak is good. 3 cards in hand, 8 damage. They played a land, they're a little flooded. So if their hand is like Mountain, Fire Blast, Shock, they need to draw exactly. Maybe they have 2 mountains in hand. There's so many things they can draw that are bad though. So if any creature in their hand is useless, any Sulfuric Vortex is useless. Phyrexian Furnace, they have plenty of mana to cycle, so that's fine. Obviously, mountains are bad. They don't have Threshold, but they will. So Barbarian Ring is live. It's a pretty tough decision here to see if I want to put lethal on the battlefield or impulse into a way to survive. So if I impulse into... The only things that I can impulse into are Plowshares and Mana Leak. Mana Leak, of course, would be great. Plowshares would be horrible. Mana Leak might not even be good enough, though, because if their hand is Fire Blast to 1 casting cost spells or Fire Blast land to 2 cast spells, 1 cast, they can beat a Mana Leak anyways. So we're just going to have to hope they draw a creature this turn. Wish we were on the play. We won this game on the play and lose it on the draw. That's how it goes, though. Gotta say, it's pretty dissatisfying to live in that world, but it is what it is. I think I'm dead. No usage of mana, so they are flooded out. Okay. They did have creatures. Nice. Yep, a little bit of flood. Earthquake here would have been the, almost would have been the tits. I would have had to, I would have just tucked the guys. I still had 6 damage, then he would die. But Earthquake could have been in the 1 Parallax Wave world. Like last turn, Earthquake would have been good. All right, this is my plan for Spurn. We're going to get rid of Mana Leaks because they always trade down on mana. They just don't have a lot of tasty things for me to Mana Leak. And Seal Cleansings because the artifacts don't really matter. Neither does the Vortex. Bring in Sphere of Law. Bring in Tide. Super important. There are arguments for trimming on Impulse, but I think Impulse into Sphere of Law is like sort of the world that we're in. Well, this stuff is better than this stuff. Like Powder Keg's too slow. Angel's too slow. Have to pay 6 to cast the Angel. I kind of like Angel, but 3 mana gain 3 life isn't like the most exciting thing in the world. I think if I know my opponent has Phyrexian Furnace, I can actually just board out Replenish. So it's surprisingly more nuanced than you would think. So effectively what happens is the game slows down like crazy. And once the game slows down like crazy, all of a sudden spending 6 mana to cast Exalted Angel just becomes something that can happen. And if it does happen, it's a pretty good way to gain a ton of card advantage. But I think assembling the combo is just like a little bit too good. We'll see how game 2 feels. We're on the draw too, so Angel might just be too slow on the draw. Maybe it's faster on the draw because on turn 3 I can play it face down and instead of, well, no, that doesn't exactly work, but whatever. Right? We have a turn 3 Serial Law, so we're pretty happy about that. And we're even decent against Price of Progress. Will be better if we draw precisely 1 more fetch land or basic land. Monk Fanatic. Not bad. Got a lot of blue cards in my hand, so I likely will be looking for basic island. Wouldn't mind drawing a blast, of course. I miss fine. All these cards are fine. Nice, nice. Too many impulses. Maybe I should board one out. Oh, they missed their 2nd land drop. Okay. Then we're in pretty good shape. So the only downside is I won't have WW2, which is not the best place to be, but I'll survive. I'll have a Sphere of Law in play, and then who knows, maybe I'll impulse into the next one. Bolt me is fine. Grab an island. Impulse. Replenish. Swords, Plowshares, City of Traitors. I mean, I have the Intuition in hand, right? So I should just take the Replenish. Resolving Intuition might be better from this spot than resolving Sphere of Law. I'm at 13. Oof. I have 1 mana, though. Tough. Actual tough decision. This might be like a super losery play. Because now I'm like 1 turn behind on getting good stuff going. And honestly, if I Intuitioned this turn, and then next turn put Parallax Tide into play, and then the turn after that, I'd have the win. It's like pretty good. I should have thought about it more, I guess. So it's like this turn Intuition resolves. Well, it's like so bad though, because like what if they just have Phyrexian Furnace later? They didn't, right? Because they didn't play it and they had 1 mana, but I don't know. Okay, well, I'm glad I took the line that I did then. So why don't I just intuition for the next Sphere of Law? Okay, well now that makes my decision quite simple. Oh wait, it doesn't make my decision that simple. Well, kind of does. I'm at 12. I have a Sphere of Law in play. They have a Furnace. I can intuition for, maybe I'll just cast Impulse. Don't really want to cast the second one though. I mean, yeah, I'll just do that. The Frantic Search obviously would have been fine because I have the redundant Opalescence. So what I could have done is intuition, get Rainbow, and then get Opalescence, and then whatever. So I still need to be getting a little busy on trying to kill my opponent because it's good price progress. It's a good timing on price progress, I guess, because it doesn't get better than it does now. It's astute stuff for my opponent, relatively tight play. I could have resolved an intuition there. I could have gone for a big jam. So now I have to worry about Anarchy. Now I no longer have to worry about Anarchy. Okay, so now this Opalescence actually gets to make 4/4s that kill my opponent, and then I just like don't have to worry about it because my opponent isn't going to be able to punch through enough damage here. So it makes things even simpler. Oh, okay, so crack Flooded Strand, intuition, go for Opal Wave, Opal Tide. I think I just go for Opal then. Opal now, attack for 8. Like the Sphere of Law plan so far. This is a good demonstration of its capabilities. Opponent got really unlucky in game 1, so can't get too hyped, but it's also kind of a reasonable demonstration of like why, like this is the matchup that you're supposed to have Phyrex and Furnace, right? And it's just like in game 1, I mean, you can't say that they lost game 1 because of Furnace. And they certainly didn't lose game 2 because of Furnace, but they also didn't win because of Furnace, where it's like kind of an important thing to know of just like, okay, well, you have this Phyrexian Furnace card, like, and it's supposed to help you like win against these graveyard decks. So like if you still lose to the graveyard decks, then that's not your best that's not the best place to be. Okay, should I just replenish the Sphere of Law? I think so, given this board. And I'm just gonna intuition for I don't know, Blue Blast. Oh, I can't intuition for Blue Blast because I don't have 3. Probably doesn't matter. I can intuition for Opalescence though. Oh, I can impulse into Blue Blast though. Interesting. My opponent's gonna fight the good fight here. So I actually need this Flooded Strand needs to get an island though, is the only problem. So that I can impulse into Tide. Take a little bit too much damage if I impulse into Tide. I guess I always can Plowshares my Tide. I'm gonna impulse intuition. Opponent's thinking of killing off a Sphere of Law. Guess I'm gonna Plowshares now, so that Lavamancer doesn't get block value. Then they can kill a Sphere of Law, but they'll still take 4, and then they'll have to kill the next Sphere of Law. And then I'll just find a Opalescence and attack with it. Kind of a funny game script. I guess I'll also just be happy to look for a Red Blast here. Or Blue Blast, rather. No Blue Blast. There's a Replenish. Okay, so how could we lose this game on accident? We could go down to 5. Our opponent can do something. Our opponent certainly can't do 7. They can do Barbarian Ring, which is 2. With 2 cards in hand. Can I lose at 5 life to my opponent's 3 cards? They can play Ball Lightning, and then they still lose. Ball Lightning, Fire Blast. Fire Blast does nothing. They can Fire Blast one of the spheres and then do something. Maybe that's like possible. So they go Mountain, Fire Blast, a sphere, Ball Lightning, and then that's 1 damage short. So I think this replenishes a lock. If it's not, mistakes were made. I had not prepared for this outcome, which was Mountain, whatever. I mean, it doesn't make a difference, but okay. Little 2-0 over Burn. Pretty important stuff too. And we can play against Fur as well. Fur's probably playing land still. He's been playing a lot of land still, so Cool stuff. It'll be a good test to see if Replenish beats land still, at least this iteration. Oh, weird. To note to self, never import a deck to Cockatrice and then save it to Cockatrice. All right, this is a pretty good hand. I got intuition. It's not like the most exciting hand against specifically. Oh, well, we're not playing against that. All right, we are playing against Forest Nimble Mongoose. Right. So we're gonna go with Island. If our opponent jams Sylvan Library, we are way ahead of them for going for the foils. Okay. Mulch. Mulch for Wasteland Step. Call the Herd. Well, 3-card mulch, pretty good. Another fetch land? Question mark. Oh, okay. So we just win. We get wastelanded next turn, so we don't just win, but we will win in a few turns. So what we're going to do is we're going to impulse into a basic land, or non-basic land, it doesn't matter. We're going to intuition to set up the replenish, and then we're going to ancient tomb into our kill them situation. Can do that all quite easily. Cool little wasty. I guess we need to impulse into a soul land, actually. Although if our opponent ports us upkeep with the wasteland, it doesn't matter. Well, impulse into soul land, it's fine. Soul land, nice. Okay, so they port blue. Okay, so what do I have to do? I guess I'll go for basic island, get ported. They have to port the correct source. Okay, so they're... Do I think they're going to port blue or port white going into this turn? I just assume that he's going to port blue, because if he ports white, that's like, yeah. So we got to do it like this. So we need if he has main deck crypt, he gets us. Oh, I could get in. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna chunk out. Oh my god. Oh my god, I did not think about this. I did not think this all through. Just like completely ridiculous. Okay, so how do we beat Armageddon? So on our upkeep, we Frantic Search, and then we Frantic Search again, so we can hopefully get Opal Wave. And Opal Wave beats this this battlefield. Or we well, we have a huge range though, because we can find... Yeah, opponent drew 2 cards, which is not good. But if we find Tide, we also Tide combo them and then proceed to win the game. So hopefully... Let's just draw everything we need, right? Port white this time, probs. Nope. Still porting blue. Okay, Frantic. Something good. Okay, Mana Leak. Mana Leak insulates us, but not particularly well, because we can't Mana Leak and Intuition in the same turn. We can Mana Leak and Intuition in the same turn, because what we're going to do is we're going to play the Ancient Tomb, we can get the Ancient Tomb wastelanded, and then we'll just find another land. So we're good. I mean, we have to find the other land, though. So maybe we'll find it on our draw step. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, that's magic, baby. Draw a land. Draw a land for win. City of Traitors. Doesn't get better than that. Yeah, I'll play City of Traitors, right? Because if they wasteland it, I cast Intuition, and then we're good. I have 4 mana, 5 mana. I have 6 mana, so I am 1 mana short of Intuition Replenish this turn. Okay, offer the city. City gets wastelanded. Ancient Tomb, Frantic Search. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. So short of a literal stone rain, I should be okay. Intuition targeting. You. So do I need to worry about anything else, like put 2 Opalescence in this pile because I already have Wave? I think I put 2 Opalescence in this pile anyways, so that I just have more guys and then I can beat Disenchant. Okay, that makes sense. So I no longer beat main deck Tormod's Crypt, or I mean, I beat a Sphere of Resistance, I guess, and I beat Armageddon. This Mana Leak is super huge. It's unbelievable Mana Leak from this spot. Opponent gives me the Tide. Opponent with G. For Cycle Tranquil Thicket, plays G. So if I get Orms Chanted, I lose. Mongoose had Threshold very quick this game. Wayfarer doesn't matter. Upkeep. Pass priority. Float. I actually don't need to Frantic Search here, because I can Frantic Search off this Ancient Tomb. But I'm going to not take the 3 damage in case of some shenanigans, maybe. Like, shenanigans are possible from this spot. All right, opponent. Mopey, mid-range, mana disruptive madness. I don't actually have great stuff here. It's funny that I have an answer to specifically the card Nimble Mongoose in my 75. And I have this. And I need to play these because I'll get Armageddon. And I need to play these to answer Weathered Wayfarer. And I actually think that being a deep analysis deck is okay. Because I need to draw more lands. I don't think I want to be Seal Cleansing because Sylvan Library is really the only target. They could board into Sphere of Resistance, but that probably is not a thing. Parallax Tide. This Powder Keg is super awkward because it dies to Disenchant, but it's the one time I'm going to be hoping that my opponent has Ray of Revelation. Parallax Tide is very interesting because it... I think Tide comboing my opponent isn't like the most exciting thing in the world. They're like pretty proactive. They'll probably have creatures in play. But I can Tide, and that's like a preemptive way to fight against Armageddon. It's like, does my opponent bring in Graveyard Hate is the question. I mean, Armageddon is just so good. This is one matchup where like maybe Fact or Fiction is better than Deep, specifically just because like just have to cast it once and pick the pile that has the most lands in it. Move on with your life. Also a matchup where Mox Diamond is good, so that Weathered Wayfarer is less good. Just take out a looting spell. Just like being grindier is going to matter a little bit less. All right. Show me basic lands. Show me basic lands deck. This is actually the most funniest part of this matchup. It's just like, okay, basic lands. Well, this hand has an answer to turn 1 Weathered Wayfarer, so we're just keeping it. If my opponent has other plans, then we have, ooh. Don't mind if I do. That was the best. That was the best draw on our deck. I guess I should still play the planes, but I won't get ported this way. Sylvan, fine. What do we intuition for? Sylvan's really good, but we could intuition for angels, then go for angels. Problem is then they can use their Sylvan to find the Plowshares, the 1 Plowshares that they kept in for their angels. Well, now we have to intuition for an answer to this Rishton port. Guess it's fine. I'm all right with the slow burn. Oh, we have a Frantic. Okay, now we are just intuitioning for Replenish, right? I guess, well, if they go Mox Diamond Armageddon, I'm going to be super sad, but aside from that, we're going to be in okay shape. I guess we're not, like, I'm not super excited intuition for triple Replenish here. Maybe I'll be able to just cast this Opalescence and then I'll just cast this Tide, right? Why don't I just cast the Tide? Get a little tidy things up. Okay, opponent has 10 cards in hand. Yeah, Mox Diamond Armageddon looks like it's happening. Mox Diamond for Riftstone Portal, even more exciting. Crypt. Okie dokie. Sphere of Resistance. Okay, that is very rude. Interesting. They want to go after that. They can. Okay. Can't cast any spells. Going to get rocked by eventual Armageddon Cataclysm nonsense. Don't have anything to say about it besides need a soul land next turn. Yeah, need a soul land next turn. Or need my opponent to not have Wasteland. The good news is, if this angel sticks, my opponent doesn't have Plowshares, then I win the game. This looks like a 5-mana Armageddon. Yep. Alright, too bad we didn't have Mana Leak. Oh, Nantuko Monastery? My game's over in 5 turns. Oh, lordy lord. That's pretty funny. That's going to get me. Activate. 4. For you. And it taps for green-white. Why don't we play this land? This is the best land ever printed. Do I need this Frantic Search? I might. Do I need this Intuition? Do I need this Tide? All right. On the race against my opponent's Wasteland. Find a white source before opponent's find his Wasteland. So, ways that Replenish can lose. The beatdowns, the mana suppression, the meddling mage, and the counter magic. So don't typically lose to beatdowns. Oh, we're getting in another sphere. It's fine. I've got an Ancient Tomb in play. I can play anything. This Frantic Search is no longer going to generate mana. It's going to be a literal careful study. Worse. All right. Opponent is like back to your regularly scheduled face beatings with Antuco Monastery. You'd love to see it. Guess I should have Sabo's Web. Maybe my opponent's just like waiting for me to have colored sources to wasteland me off. But I'm going to go down to 10. Opponent is going to be happy to cast a 5 mana Call the Herd soon. Meanwhile, I need to get to 6 mana. Or I guess I need to get 5 mana to cast Exalted Angel face down. So if I draw a City of Traitors or an Ancient Tomb, I'm like, oh, there's a port. Now my opponent doesn't ever have to expose their Antuco Monastery if they don't want to. Yeah, they're gonna go with that. Probably port the Ancient Tomb. Yep. Well, heads up play from. All right. So the 26 land is going in not because of this exact game, but just because of what I talked about. You lose to mana suppression, right? So Impulse, pretty exciting card. Can find you a land. Doesn't matter. Okay, this Wasteland is going to seal the deal. Wasteland this, port you this. But you like look at my sideboard and I'm just like, I don't want to play Sabo's Web. Sabo's Web seems bad. Who in their right mind would play Sabo's Web? I have to play all these other cards that are good. All right, I am locked out of the game because this port's going to get there. All right, so being faster is better on the play. Didn't see Nimble Mongoose that game. Did Fur sideboard into like a super control-y deck. I still need Source Plowshares for a Wayfarer, especially because my opponent's going to be on the draw. Tormod's Crypt, huh? Oh, I have to play Seal Cleansing for these, to battle these Sphere Resistance. Gross, gag me with a spoon. Okay. How are we going to defeat Weathered Wayfarer? So opponent may, if opponent boarded out Nimble Mongoose, there's no reason to have Keg around. Keg's kind of reasonable against like whatever. I need to board out Mana Leak. Because like now I have these Seal Cleansings, which makes me want to have more Tides. Seal Cleansing, Mana Leak, Keg. Keg's awkward, right? I have to play Keg at sorcery speed. Oh, but it kills everything. Ugh. This is also a way to destroy multiple copies of Sphere Resistance. Actually kind of a big deal. These will help me go fast. Can I possibly accept losing to Weathered Wayfarer? Weathered Wayfarer just completely solo me. Can I play like this? And no, because I need more copies of these cards because I have to draw them instead of because opponent will just crypt me. So what I want to do is have the turn 3 win with just Intuition, Frantic Search, Replenish. So I want to max on those. I want to have combo. This is dumb. It's like Impulse just lets me draw more lands. It's fine though. Technically Impulse isn't great against Sphere Resistance. I don't know. It's still probably fine. All right, we have an answer to Weathered Wayfarer. We have a turn. We have a turn 3 Opalescence. Opponent's on a mulligan. Maybe Frantic Search is the most greedy thing to keep in. It's like, what do I need a Frantic Search for? Like, but it's gonna get port. Ugh. It's so obnoxious. I have everything I need and everything, and I also don't have everything I need at the same time. It's like very frustrating. My opponent's gonna start on Nimble Mongoose and get Threshold on turn 3 again. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. We have Powder Kegs. I mean, we're gonna go P-Wave Opal like on turn 4, so that's not bad. So unless they have Mox own my face, I can get them. It would be crazy if I drew Replenish, because if I go Frantic Search into Replenish, Opal Wave, they go Disenchant, then I'm not in a good spot. Woof, man. All right. It's okay. They don't have Threshold yet. Is there any world in which I want a Frantic Search on their end step or something, some nonsense like that? Probably not, right? And for what it's worth, that Sphere Resistance puts them behind on their ability to cast Armageddon. They're electing to not aggressively wasteland me. They are electing to wasteland me. Okay, Exalted Angel off the top. I'll take it. Seal Cleansing. Basic Plane, Skycloud Expanse, but then my Skycloud isn't protected. No, I need Basic Island, because if I draw Tide, that's super good. Cycle Tranquil, take it. Wasteland again. Frantic Search through. So I'm looking for... I mean, opponent still doesn't have Threshold, so Ancient Tomb Pass is okay. They're 2 Wastelands deep. Another Mongoose. I might need to Frantic Search for this white source here. What if I Frantic Searched and then cast Opalescence and blocked with my Seal Cleansing? I can't cast nothing this turn. Can't block with the Seal Cleansing. Have to try. Because opponent's just going to have Threshold next turn, and we'll be in trouble. If they have a Naturalize effect, I'm like really, really sad. Oh my god. This isn't even good, honestly. Ditch 2 waves, play Wave, play Opalescence eventually. Next turn I have to draw a white source to even like be good. At least I'll have Mana Leak. Threshold, I'll take 6. I'm going to go to 12. Just dead. Trying to draw Replenish doesn't help. Powder Keg is too late. And yeah, I just lose to a Naturalize. Nimble Mongoose, man. I need them to play not a single card that can put itself in the graveyard next turn. That's like my only way out. What am I going to do with all these Parallax Waves? I guess I fucked up. I guess I had to play stupid Plains. Or fetch for Plains. I don't know. The second Wasteland was just too strong. Almost doesn't matter. They might Naturalize the Wave. That would still get me. Monastery. I can't tap my stuff too much here. Man, this mana suppression thing is like, I don't know. And like the thing is, Nimble Mongoose makes you better against Sabo's Web. I think Sabo's Web still kind of gets you because activated abilities. But I don't know. Guess I just have to play Wrath of God. Top deck white source. No. Oh, that's fine. Well, it's not great. It means I'm going to lose next turn. Oh, well, if I have Opalescence, then I get it. I get to have it. Get to take it. So I enjoy that part. That's not the land we needed, though, unfortunately. It's not even a helpful land. I can't even play it. White source. So they're going to get Threshold, and then they're going to attack for 10 Exaxes. Okay, we're just going to play City of Traitors, but if they draw Port, if they go Mox Port, they can get me. I have the Wave on the table, so I guess I'm insulated from land attacks. Is there any reason to play the City of Traitors? I could draw a Frantic Search next turn and then don't want to take the damage, but still need to find the white source. I can draw Intuition next turn and Intuition for triple white source. This Mana Leak gets to get some action, hopefully, here. Like, should I just Mana Leak a Mox Diamond? Probably not. Maybe they'll just go for Armageddon. Okay, they have Threshold, so I can only tap this Ancient Tomb one more time this game. And I also need to go for Frantic Search into Business, because I actually can't tap the Ancient Tomb twice, and I can only block one, so I can take 6, then 6, 6, take 3. So I need literal basic planes off the top of my library, or Frantic Search into Replenish. Or just Frantic Search, I'll settle for. No. Oh my god. What a monster. All right. Come on, Metadeck. Need to get this practice in, baby. Not beating friggin' Mono Disruption. Wasn't happy about that. This hand is good, though. This is like a Dreadnought combo. Just comes down on turn 5 instead of turn 2. Some might say turn 5 is much later than turn 2. Against Island, my plan is not going to work as well. I can beat precisely 1 counterspell. Beat precisely 2 counterspells. I, of course, need to find a white source. My opponent Dreadnought combos me here. I just lose. It's amazing. Love that. Love that for me. Why aren't we playing Dreadnought? The multi-5 one-lander. Doesn't quite get there. Oh, nice. We can choose our own adventure. I'm going to hold up Mana Leak intentionally. Yeah, I can afford to play slower, right? My opponent missed land drop, so I can just whatever. Portent. That's fine. We're going to be playing around Daze the whole way. We're going to play around Daze and Stifle the whole way, so that's quite good. Opponent going for the aggressive mulligan to Dreadnought plan. They could just be stasis, in which case... Oh. Ow. That would be a big uh-oh over here. But... Portent, no shuffle. Found the land. Double mana leak. Makes me want to relax even more, because once I have 6 mana, I can go play these things with mana leak backup, which is pretty nice. Oh, Flooded Strand. Opponent's playing a Flooded Strand Portent deck. There's quite a few, but on the other hand, there are not very many. There's Blue-White Dreadnought, Grotog, Blue-White Flippy. I haven't shown him anything about my deck. Scroll Rack. Oh man, my opponent is cooking. I guess I'll mana leak the Scroll Rack because they have like no stuff going on. Like, I don't want them to like rack 5, fetch, you know, get all the business they need. Impulse. Are we chilling? We just cast Wave. They're tapped out. They can't hurt me, right? Nothing can hurt me. We just got to be the kind of people who make impulsive decisions. When it's playing a control deck, we got to get our clock set up, you know? Mox! No. Don't do it. Don't do something scary. Don't do something scary. Seal Cleansing. I can deal with that. Sylvan Library. Oh boy. Opponent will have to seal my Parallax Wave with the Opalescence on the stack if they want their Sylvan Library to live. Sylvan Library is a superb draw from them, though. I won't sugarcoat that. See how astute opponent is. Nope, they're not. Oh wait, this is a bad play because oh yes, there's some important stuff to know. All right, so once this resolves, the Leaves play is going to trigger. With the Leaves play trigger on the stack, opponent can seal cleansing. Oh, they did the worst thing. Opponent can seal cleansing the Opalescence, and then that would counter the other activations because they no longer be creatures. It would save the Sylvan Library. So what I had to do is had to exile the Seal Cleansing, and then exile the Sylvan Library. So if they put the Seal Cleansing activation on the stack, then I can get them. All right. My Opal Wave is too strong against their blue control deck. Okay, let's just assume that we're not going to be interested in Swords of Plowshares or anything. Just do this, all the good stuff. Just freaking get the good stuff in. The good stuff. That's some good stuff right there. And no, that was the easiest sideboarding ever. Not going to think twice about it. Check my email. Opponent brought a Sick Brew. Hyped. Not the most exciting hand, and they gave me the draw, but I'll take it. All right. Looks like we're in Impulse for a land territory. Guess I get a Seal Cleansing Impulse for the land next turn. Basically ends up being the same, but collecting more information this way. Oh, but if it's a dual land, yeah, that's a good point. Good point, Lanny. What if it's a dual land? Doesn't change anything. Play Opalescence. Beatdowns will begin. Gonna get my Opalescence Swords Plowshares next turn or something. Go rack action. Well, they have the Windswept Teeth in play, so I guess I will just delete this Skull Rack. What should I do? Get some Parallax Waves? Probably fine. Could get some mana leaks. If I don't need mana leak, I have Abeyance. Yeah, I'll get some waves. I'll just get deeps. Forgot about deeps. Put them in my deck. Forgot about them. Classic Laney behavior. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Then I'm going to use that life I gained to strategically draw 2 cards. Ooh, another Opalescence. We'll just, I don't know, I guess I assume my opponent's playing like blue counterspell-y type cards, huh? So we can take a turn off, plus they can like, what should I do? I'm going to play Seal Cleansing this turn anyways, right? So I can just do this, play Opalescence. So next turn I get to go Abeyance Tide, and that's pretty sick. Hardcast Foil. So they are playing Gushrack. Pretty cool. Yeah, Ancient Tomb, Deep Analysis is not really the combo. Oh, that's sick. Kind of doesn't matter. Like, I'll still just make the same play, and then they'll just be dead. Or I guess I have backup against a double counterspell. 5 mana. Hardcast Gush. Abeyance resolves. You have no lands. Good luck. Have fun. And then next turn, we're going to alt cast Gush now. Actually pretty sick. But they can't because they can't do anything. But another cool thing. What was the other cool thing? I don't know. There's one. GG's. Good against control decks. Because they can't do anything to stop you from just drawing more cards than them. All right, round 4. Here's a hand that I would gladly take the Attunement over the Impulse. But that's why we're doing this testing. So we also have 2 looks at a non-dual land. Well, not that one. Interesting. Opponent just to open passing. Let's see if this is an Oath of Druids and not a Sylvan Library. Anything but a Sylvan Library. Oh, Enchantress. Okay, well, life is pretty easy here. Unless, of course, they get the second Sterling Grove down ever. But even then, yeah, basic planes or Seal of Cleansing. I actually love Seal of Cleansing, but need the white source. Need the blue source too, actually. Getting a Seal of Cleansing off on the Sterling Grove would have been totally solid. Let's see. Is there any motivation to main phase Impulse? No, because I might need an Impulse into some... might need an Impulse into Mana Leak if their play is just going to be Enchantress's Presence. But otherwise, I'm just going to Opal Wave. Second Sterling Grove possibility here. Seems like it's about to happen. Oh, Seal of Cleansing. That's okay. I actually have the second Opalescence, so it's not a big deal. I will probably counter this if I have the counterspell, though. Intuition. So I'm going to take Parallax Tide. Man, this is going to be sweet. Anyways, this is an impossible matchup for Enchantress. This is like a impossible matchup for Enchantress. I don't even know what they could possibly hope to do, but this is an impossible matchup for Enchantress. Yeah, that is fine with me. Opponent failing to understand the stack. They're going to lose this forest indefinitely. And I even get to play a little P-Wave into a little Opalescence, into a little put the game away. So P-Wave double Opalescence is going to get there. Yeah, this is an impossible matchup for Enchantress. So we don't need Plowshares. I like Seal of Cleansing. I like an additional Tide. I like Keg. I like Keg a lot. Abeyance is actually quite bad. Doesn't stop enchantments. And I see no real need to Exalted Angel. Don't even know what kind of technology that they bring in. I guess Keg is kind of dumb. You have to turn 1 Keg with a dual land for it to count up to 2. Otherwise, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, forget that. Just have some deep analysis. It's fine. Whatever. Waiting for them to pull out their cool tech, but we'll have to see what it is first. Yeah, I would not play Enchantress in a big tournament, given Replenish's current state in the metagame. It's like really hard to have this matchup be so difficult. But, could be surprised here. There are... I shouldn't play the Flooded Strand. I should start on Skycloud Expanse, give it top deck a dual land, then I'm going to play dual land Replenish. Yeah, Argathian's good. It's a good start for my opponent. So I'm going to have to see how fast I can get cooking. Yeah, I need the dual land, but luckily I get to Mana Leak something. Mana Leak something this turn, Intuition to set up the 4th turn Tide into 5th turn Replenish for the win. So I'll stop a Sterling Grove here. Yeah. One of the few ways that they could have weaseled their way out of this situation. And if they play a solitary, I won't... Oh, that's a lot of Sterling Groves. Okay. Well, things get interesting at least. So if they play a solitary, I also cannot resolve intuition. So things could get pretty spicy from there. This is how you win. I think it turned to, ooh, okay, so this doesn't help yet. But it means that if I draw Frantic Search, I'm in business. Okay, they're looking for presence probably. Yeah, makes sense. Presence, draw a card. Ooh, nothing, not even a land drop. Tide, Wave. Oh, I still need to get 2 things into the graveyard, right? Because I have both Opalescence in hand. Because like if I do 2 tides on a wave and then put the wave in the graveyard, then I have to cast a tide, cast an Opalescence, cast a wave. So I want to just cast a tide and then cast an Opalescence. Okay, so I can just guarantee that the wave will be in the graveyard. Give me the tide. It doesn't quite work. How does this work again? So I need to have both tide and wave, or both tide and Opalescence in the graveyard. So I really just do need to let these Opalescence go down. So if my opponent gives me tide and Opalescence, they can Sterling Grove to find stuff. It's like funny because if I put an Opalescence on the battlefield naked at any point in time, they can get their own Parallax Wave. We have a Parallax Wave standoff. That just means that I need extra Parallax Waves in my universe. They're not going to put the tide into my hand anyways. Yeah, so they'll put the wave in my hand. I'm going to replenish, and then I'm going to put the tide in play. I'm going to tide them for a turn. And then, so tide is going to tide them for a turn. I'm going to take all their white mana, so they could find Seal of Cleansing. So go search for Seal of Cleansing probably. But can they profitably Seal of Cleansing? It's an interesting one. If they get a Seal of Cleansing, I got to show you what happens when there's a Seal of Cleansing involved. Wild Growth. Okay. In that case, slight change of plans. We're going to take away their ability to produce green. Okay. Opalescence. Let's go ahead and take away the presence. Yeah, GG's. So they got to do a pretty cool Enchantress start, but I'm just go harder. All right, firing it up versus Lurtzer. What are we, 3-1? Are we 4-1? We're 3-1. I don't know. We had that match against Enchantress. It basically didn't happen. So Enchantress, control, some other deck. Playable hand. We have the whole combo. So our opponent is gone on turn 7. 4, 5, 6. Turn 6. Slowest combo deck in the world. Gets them on turn 6. Yep. Our opponent has a deck that combos on turn 2. It's a little faster than 6. See what happens with the Seal of Cleansing. Go Plains, Seal of Cleansing, they go Jam. Be pretty interesting. Oh, Mana Leak. Man, if I'm on the play, life is better. Famous last words. On the play, I'd probably play to turn 2 Seal anyways. Just let them daze it, and then I'll have Mana Leak. I have to choose Impulse for land drop or not. Just play my second white mana because I could draw Soul Land, Impulse, looking for Daze, looking for Foil, looking for Stifle. Yeah, that's a Daze, and that kind of confirms my suspicion that my opponent is playing a deck of the Dreadnought variety. I'll look for Plowshares, Mana Leak backup, or dual land, Soul Land rather. Against the mono blue deck, I just have a lot of hate, but you know, this can happen. I'm hung out to dry. All right, I think it's going to be an Impulse for Plowshares this turn. I mean, I guess I could take 12. So basically what can happen is I can go Impulse, Plowshares, get Daze, take 12. They play an island. I play another land, play Parallax Wave, and then get rocked. Or I can Impulse and then maybe Plowshares with Mana Leak next turn. But I'm just always going to Impulse anyway, so I might as well just Impulse and then decide depending on what I find. Yeah, Frantic Search, huh? Okay, Frantic Search is interesting. It makes my land choice pretty awkward because what can happen is I can Frantic Search, but I won't have the Mana Leak backup if I draw a dual land. But we can still Frantic Search into Plowshares. But yeah, looks like we're going to lose this game 1 to a pretty tight Daze your Seal Cleansing counter the next thing that happens, unless I rip Plowshares, or they're Destroying Dead. See, they opted and drew. Wonder what kind of business they wanted to get to on their main phase. All right, Plowshare, Seal Cleansing, both great. Impulse. Maybe this is disguised. This is like kind of disguised. Make my opponent think. I couldn't Impulse into Plowshare's Mana Leak, so this has to resolve so that I can find a Plowshares to back up a Mana Leak. My opponent's just like, surely I just counter this because they tapped out. But then they're like, oh, what if they're just like holding back planes towards Source Plowshares? I guess I should have played the land first and then just like left up those suspicious planes. Because then this could have looked like bait. Okay, they have foil, so you got this one. Okay, Mono Blue Dreadnought. I see what you got going on. I'm just going to do some of this stuff. This stuff doesn't matter. Don't need this. Frantic Search is okay, but not that important. Angel, don't really need Opalescence. Intuition lets me play at instant speed. I didn't bring in the Deep Analysis though, so probably makes more sense. But I could bring in Deep Analysis. Let's see. Keeping all the stuff that costs low mana, right? Do I have anything else? It's fine. I think these are like 11 pieces of interaction against Dreadnought. 2 of them I have to play at instant speed. Okay, because I have to play so much stuff at instant speed, so I have to hold up my mana a lot, which means Intuition becomes better. Does Frantic Search become better? I think it's fine. All right, I'm on the play. I have Plowshare, Seal Cleansing. That's good enough for me. They're on a mulligan. So they had the foil, which is interesting. I think they probably had my number that game. They just had enough stuff. I didn't have enough stuff. I didn't draw any Plowshares. I had the Mana Leak, but it didn't matter. I'm just playing the Seal Cleansing. It runs into a Daze, runs into a counterspell. It's fine. Because so much of my stuff depends on me having mana open on their turn that I'm going to draw into, so that stuff matters. So now I would love to draw Exalted Angel. Intuition. Yeah, now I would love to draw a Deep Analysis. Yeah, I should have put the Deep Analysis in. It's okay, though. Intuition, then. Let's see. A Seal Cleansing. So I want to go for a sneaky value Intuition here. Just kind of like get some good stuff going. So I'm thinking I could go like Cephalid Coliseum, Abeyance. I could get like 1 Powder Keg and stuff. I could get Opalescences out of my deck. I could get the 1 Parallax Tide and 2 copies of Replenish. Play the Parallax Tide. It wouldn't give me that much time, though. And I could even just get 3 Impulses for the worst Intuition of ever. I could also get 3 Mana Leaks. I'd like to be able to keep digging, though. I'm a little bit far from Threshold. So yeah, we're just going to Intuition for a triple Impulse. It doesn't look great, but it's like the world that we live in right now. Okay. Not mad at it. I think I can pretty reliably find some find some interaction with these impulses and then just be in good shape. Oh, I should remember that if I did put Cephalid Coliseum in a pile, I would have had 5 cards, so would have been too hard to turn the Cephalid Coliseum on. But yeah, let's have deep analysis in game 3 so that if we draw intuition, we can intuition for triple deep and then just put this game away. Just like don't need Exalted Angel in that case, I guess. Try to take out the 2 Exalted Angels, take out an Opalescence. Right, Angel's kind of sick because it's like a really simple way to win the game, but maybe it's not very necessary. Dreadnought, probably impulse from the mana leak here, but I could go Plowshares mana leak, I guess. Oh, that's fine. Cleansing. Go for the Stifle. So they're holding back Vision Charm. I think if I Plowshares now and they Vision Charm, this beats a Null specifically, so I don't mind that. They might have foil. Should I impulse first if they have foil? So impulse, the reason I would have to impulse first is because I would have to, if Abeyance is in my range, I have to go Abeyance, Seal of Cleansing. Oh, I guess, yeah, I'd have to go Abeyance, Seal of Cleansing and then resolve the Seal of Cleansing and still possibly get stifled. So I can't Abeyance my way out of both ranges. Mana leak is good though. Okay, I have a lot of, now I have all the answers. So you can mana leak a foil. They did have the annul. Feel like a genius right now. Nice 0 cards in hand, but I literally needed to draw that mana leak because if I didn't, I would have been drawing dead. So kind of funny, kind of awkward. But yeah, love these spots versus Dreadnought. Now I'm just a little bit more free to do things. I guess getting a Seal of Cleansing into play is like pretty good because I have a Tide in hand. Okay, their draw was Counterspell. Fair enough. Really needed the deep analysis here. Tomb, it's not helping me. Just gonna pass. Mana leak. Looks good. So opponent's trying furiously to get to Gush. I'm trying furiously to get to anything in my deck. One more land and they can mana leak their way out of this. Or rather, they can get out of mana leak. I don't even know if casting Parallax Tide is that exciting here, but attacking for 4 for 5 turns is actually exactly enough, right? So maybe I should have casted off the the Ancient Tomb. My current life total is not like divisible by 5, so should I protect this Opalescence with a mana leak? Doesn't really seem like I should. Yeah, deep analysis would have just made this game completely unwinnable for them, and I just didn't board it in. I normally do against Dreadnought. I just kind of like looked at my cards and just figured they'd be enough, but there's no reason to like think like that if you're me. Okay, this Abeyance is going to make things pretty sick as soon as I find the things that I need. Is there a world where I need more mana? Probably not. Like, I'm saving these just because of Cephalid Coliseum, but I gotta admit, having 7 mana, potentially 8, doesn't like feel like game changing to me. It's time. I love that they're it resolves. It resolves. Cool. All right. Fix our mistakes. That was a funny way for that game to go, at least. Analysis. I have 25 lands. I want all my lands. I want to be able to play things. This Parallax Tide is not exciting. Like full combo just truly doesn't matter. We just need this combo. Get them. Impulse looked pretty good in that game actually. So we just found all the stuff. We had some extra stuff to discard, so we could have spun some Attunement, but it would have cost us a little bit more mana. That one turn we had like double impulse. I don't know. If you're watching this right now, look at that game. Drop in the comments. We can discuss in the comments if that game would have been better if I had impulse, intuition, or sorry, not intuition, impulse, attunement, or actually neither matters. Really want this Exalted Angel. Can I just like go like this? It like costs less mana than attunement, you know? Or Opalescence rather. It makes the third intuition a lot better though, because as soon as I intuition for deep analysis, I'm cooking. Boarding in 1 angel is kind of funny, so there's that. Ooh, this hand is one of those hands that you don't love to see. But I'm priced into keeping it and hope I draw out because I don't really see, like, I don't really want to multi Plowshares just to try to beat turn 2 jam with protection. Like, if they're on the play, turn 2 jam with protection on turn 1, like, they're taking such a huge gamble against, like, a deck that they saw was, like, whatever. Also, like, imagine I draw Powder Keg, but obviously that's not going to happen. But I don't know. Maybe I should mulligan that, because I win so many games that I only have to protect against turn 2 jam with protection. So maybe, because now I'm just, like, scared, right? Yeah, so maybe I mulligan. I have to have Plowshares +1 in my hand. Well, we dodged the first bullet, the Impulse. So the big question is if we deep analysis next turn. Impulse main phase. I think we do. I think trying to not cast a spell here is bad news. Well, that changed my mind a little. Oh, wait, no, that makes it so deep analysis is way better, because then we have Plowshares mana leak. And we get a hand size of an Opalescence for free, I guess. I don't even know how good that is. Yeah, let's just deep analysis. We want to start fighting some big 4s. And I think that's going to matter. I think if our opponent had, like, Winter Orb last game, I'd be a little bit worried. Big difference between blue-white and mono-blue here, right? Because blue-white can play this. If my blue-white had, like, Meddling Mage Armageddon against me, then I'd be in much deeper trouble. Okay, so once I intuition for triple Parallax, I'm gonna be in pretty decent shape. Okay, I have Parallax now with Mana Leak backup. No, I'm 1 off Parallax with Mana Leak backup, and they have potential annul. What if I hand size the Parallax Wave? No, because then I have to draw a soul land. Seems bad. Let's play this. Let's pass. And then we'll Plowshares with Mana Leak backup. And if they Vision Charm, we get to Parallax Wave with Mana Leak backup. And I'm not going to float my blue like that. I'm just going to go ahead and Plowshares. So they go for the Vision Charm. Oh, I actually don't even Mana Leak this. Because, well, now I Mana Leak it. So if they annul, that's super bad news. But then I can maybe intuition for something. If they're going to reduce their range to just annul, then I'll probably intuition for Plowshares. I beat a divert here, which I'm pretty excited about. Imagine if I had my own divert, though. Man, divert belongs in the sideboard. Paul Master is just, you know, he's just playing chess while we're all playing checkers. Probably goes for the charm. Days foil. 1 card remaining. Do I think the 1 card is a null? It's actually pretty relevant here that I had to spend the mana the way that I did, because now I can no longer tap Ancient Tomb. Okay, so do we play around a null is the question. And the question is, do we play around a null? So they didn't have Vision Charm last turn, so it means that they don't have Vision Charm this turn, is my analysis. I guess foil is better than Vision Charm because it lets them attack. Okay. So now even if they have a null, we have Replenish, and we cook. Close one. Close one. Match could have gone any kind of way. I mean, technically not over, but as long as they don't flashback deep analysis or something silly like that, we're going to get them. Okay. Still a game. 1 counterspell here, bust things open for them. It's not that exciting about Flooded Strand. So get Angel into play, I can start. Oh, okay. So still an interesting one. Stifle can make it so Parallax Wave disappears forever. So I can't just wave out wave. Okay. Fade 1. Oh, another wave is great. I like that they brought the Brain Freeze. Incredible that I'm just like dead to Lightning Bolt here, but of course, it's just not the world we live in, right? Hardcast foil. Okay, then wave is free to do wave things, and then I just win the game. Question is if I want to put Exalted Angel onto the battlefield for any reason. I honestly don't know. I think I'm just going to chill. I might want this Ancient Tomb to do something. Portent targeting self. I can even block Phyrexian Dreadnought, which is kind of exciting. So cards that could beat me from here. Curse Totem into combo. No, because well, yeah. Curse Totem into combo. I don't know. Humility would be quite good. Yeah, I don't know. Got a lot of outs here. Wonder what my opponent's drawing towards. They're going to try to brain freeze me for a lot of copies, maybe. Maybe I should have played the Exalted Angel last turn. Huh, that was a close one. Okay, we got there. That was a lot closer. I think it was very emblematic of how the matchup goes. I can sideboard in Oodles of Interaction. I would have lost a turn 2 jam there, but if my opponent's like brave and tries to go for a turn 2 jam with protection, I mean, they could just get completely busted by mulligans. If they had Milling Mage, if they had Armageddon, all of this might not have been possible. I did draw quite a few lands. Deep Analysis, kind of funny that Deep Analysis for like any amount sometimes puts me down to 12, which is not a good number of life to be at. But yeah, we got there. GG's. All right, final match. The AC is on. It's probably too loud. It says it is 85 degrees in my office, which is too freaking hot. All right, all this hand needs is an intuition, so we're just gonna draw that quickly, and this will be a chill time. Well, thank God for Swords of Plowshares. Oh my God, port. Oh my God, getting ported. Okay. Oh, that's good. We're gonna go with this. War Chief is awesome here. Matron is sad. I'm going to counter the Ringleader or the War Chief or the Pile Driver, or really anything, but specifically those are going to be good. I think these discrete blue-white sources are going to be the good ones. Oh, Intuition means I win. Well, love to see it. Uh-oh. Green mana? Question mark? Nope. In for one. Pile Driver. Sure. Prioritizing porting me. Of course, they are not aware that I have the soul land, so I have everything that I need. Opalescence, Tide, and Parallax Wave. All right, so let's just not get wastelanded. They could give me Tide. Oh, that would be bad though, because they gave me Tide then they just get rocked. Oh, they'll do that instead. So get ported. Sure. Allow myself to get ported and play, and opponent will have no lands and no Goblin Pile Driver. They can have one Goblin Matron, that's fine. Fade, fade, upkeep, this guy. Don't know if you've seen this before, but it's pretty strong. And this is why you don't need Attunement. I don't know. Impulse had nothing to do with this game, obviously, but it's the whole thing. All right, so I'm going to do Tide. And then with this Tide leaves play trigger on the stack. I'm going to get it back. Just in case any shenanigans happen with their lands, this is how you ensure that the opponent won't be able to like sneak and naturalize on your Opalescence. So you exile the stuff, and then I'm just going to go ahead and exile my own lands, and then yeah, opponents like this deck make my head hurt, and then I'll let this resolve. The leaves play, of course, will bring back all my stuff, and then I'll be able to do this, and come back, and do this, and then they get their stuff back, and then I get their stuff, and then they say there's no way for me to get out of this, and they would be correct. So just demonstrating the combo for them. All right, opponent learning the pain. So I really like 4 Exalted Angel against Goblins. I actually don't like 2, because you need both in play, because you need 1 to block and 1 to attack. It's actually kind of funny. Needless to say, though, we don't need Seal of Cleansing, and Impulse is going to be, or Mana Leak is actually really bad. I can trip them up, but you just want to be doing proactive stuff, I think. So the question is, Powder Keg. Oh, Tide isn't that exciting. I don't need a Tide combo. I can just do normal combo, try and get it blue blasted. So I hate Powder Keg against Goblins. That's just too slow. Powder Keg is really only there for Dreadnoughts and Meddling Mages, so that's the deck, and deck is pretty good. Dodging Tormod's Crypt, of course, here. I think Tormod's Crypt and Blue Blast, or Red Blast, are the most exciting things out of Goblins. Yeah, I have a turn 3 Exalted Angel flip, so we're going to go with that, even though we don't have an answer to Lackey. It'd be awesome if this hand had a Mox Diamond. Yep. No Lackey, big bucks. All right, we're just going to put a 4/5 flyer and then a couple of 4/4 enchantments into play. Pretty fun. Pile driver. Opponent just kept a chill hand. They're going to get bamboozled by my technology. All right, 1 turn to play Goblin plus Incinerator. 1 turn only. Wasteland, never mind. I'll block. Past you. Oh, I could have played Island because the Frantic Search lets me get them. I like the comment here from my opponent, Goblins being good in their local meta. They cast Anarchy. Draw Replenish, question mark. Enough interesting stuff here for me to Frantic Search. Might need a blue source later. Actually, I don't need 2 blue sources in this configuration. Might as well stick the Plowshares onto the pile driver here. Oh, I actually didn't have to because I have the wave. Oh, I should play 2 Opalescence. I should play Opalescence first because I have extra Opalescence, and then they'd be able to get me. So if I go Opalescence, then Opalescence, then Wave, be able to get them. Oh, they're early on the Triangle, and this also just like is able to fight that. My opponent not waiting to my end step for no advantage though is not the best idea from them. So yeah, 3 4/4s. Maybe they have spare Tranquil Domain. What is the 6 mana play? Don't know about that one. Ringleader. Okay. Going to attack for 4, please. Just let me do it. Let me do it, Goblins. They're down to 7. 4 mana. Ringleader. Use their green. They don't have any more green spells cooking. Oh, there's the naturalizes they were looking for. Yeah, these things don't matter. Getting them. Yep, and chill one against Goblins. Didn't draw any sideboard. Oh, I drew one sideboard card. That got pretty fine to just draw a bunch of Opalescence against the Goblins deck, I think. Yeah, there. Opponent with all Pyros. All right, little 5/1. What did we learn? Let's see. Deck is still good. Beats Mono Blue Dreadnought. Beats Goblins. Beats stuff except for everything except for Terragon. It beats a random control deck. I guess it's silly that I should probably review my matches. Sphere of Law was good. Extra Seal Cleansing, why not? Abeyance was good. Exalted Angel is fine. Not the most exciting thing. Thinking Exalted Angel is around to mostly like bamboozle certain decks, but Deep Analysis sort of does the same thing. Right now, Deep Analysis isn't that exciting because like the rock land still black-white control. Didn't see any of those, and this like Deep Analysis is for specifically for those matchups. So I could see a world in which you play Factor Fiction. You can also play Factor Fiction main instead of Intuition. I totally think that's fine. You play 2 Factor Fictions main. I wouldn't want to run 2 Intuitions though. Intuition plus Replenish was so good. I think you saw that. Powder Keg, pretty reasonable because we played against Dreadnought, so I had to get countered. Obviously don't like that it can get stifled, but so can your entire deck. Dreadnought can stifle the Leaves Play trigger on their wave. They can stifle Seal of Cleansing. They can stifle Powder Keg, so might as well. 25 lands, fine, but you need 26 against Terror Oath, so probably find room for the 26th. Impulse, feeling good. I hate Attunement. Like, spending 3 mana per turn to filter your lands out instead of casting a spell is bad. If you are just flooding out, it's great. But if you're only like half flooding out, like you have a play that you can make, it's not that exciting. You still make a play. It's like then you make the play, you pass the turn, you untap, continue flooding out, cast Attunement, you loot, pass the turn, then make your second play. Like, I don't know. It really doesn't add up for me. It's really good when Attunement comes back from Replenish, but other than that, I don't know. Mana Leak, super sick. Mana Leak is incredible in this deck. Mana Leak should be in this deck always. The stock version of this deck contains Mana Leak. You heard it here first. 2 Tides, 2 Seals. Wasn't relevant. Didn't Tide combo people. Don't remember Tide comboing people. So, You know, sometimes you type combo people, sometimes it matters. Sometimes you want to set up Tide as a 4-mana Orm's Chant for the next turn. Type effect didn't come into play. That's Replenish. Liked Impulse, honestly. Impulse is just a good card in combo decks. This is a combo deck. Don't get it twisted. Will I play the Cell Lobster Con? I tested this against Red Green Oath. I did not like the matchup. If this smashed Red Green Oath, I'd be into it. But the fact of the matter is, these have to be Sabo's Web. In fact, you might have to run Sabo's Web main. So you're like random dumb flex slot. Hate that. Now, we gave ourselves stuff to do on 2 mana now. So just Sabo's Web. Part of the advantage was this deck had nothing to do on 2. So it's like, oh, might as well just play a freaking cantrip. It's like, well, why don't you just play a cantrip that's actually good, puts your combo together. Hate Sabo's Web, love Impulse. But if you want to beat Red Green Oath, end up, like, I don't know, you got to board in 4 Sabo's Web, TBH. Like, you're not going to get them with 2. Sometimes you won't draw them. I don't know. This is the lowest I've ever been on Deep Analysis. Just didn't have the life points to pay for it. But boarding out Intuition, pretty sketchy. It's like if I'm going to board out Intuition, then I kind of have to have 4 Exalted Angels just so that I have like a thing to do that's like, I don't know, just like a thing to do. Hard to explain. But yeah, you know, 5-1's a good result. So, and we beat Goblins, which is a deck that we can sometimes lose to, but that looked crazy in our favor. Our draws were pretty good though. I mean, we could have gotten Lackeyed in game 2 and that would have been crazy. I mean, they had Anarchy on us, so things could have been different. They could have had Wasteland instead of Port. Wasteland would have made a big difference there. This is definitely a Wasteland Goblins meta, I do have to say. So everything up is down, but love Premodern, and thanks for watching. You know, subscribe to Coffee. You'll get access to Discord. Or if you don't want to subscribe, you can do a one-time payment, just like $5. Get this Discord anyways. Come into the Discord, be like, Laney, what do you think about Replenish? I'll tell you all about it. Thanks for watching and take care.